Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm covering 90 Day Fiance, or Before the 90 Days, 90 Day Fiance Season 4 Episode 2 Part 2. So I realized in my last video that I had watched Part 1 and some of Part 2. So I'm just going to continue from Part 2. We're not shown everybody this episode. And we still haven't been shown the other two remaining couples, which I'm excited to see. But this episode, maybe because I already watched the first half last week, it was kind of just like meh type of thing. So let's start off with Ed and Rosemary. So Ed is finally packing for the trip to go to the Philippines, and he's packing a whole bunch of stuff for Rosemary, for her son Prince, for him. It was kind of like when he was packing the condoms, he showed off the lingerie he bought for her. So he's definitely expecting to get laid on this trip, which, like, I feel like that's very optimistic of him, especially because his appearance is much different than advertised. But you know what? That's none of my business. So his friend brings up the potential of having other children because Rosemary is only 23, she has a young son, and she could possibly want more children. Well, Ed tells his friend that yes, Rosemary said that she wanted a girl, but even if, like, she had another boy, she still wanted, like, at least another kid. And because of how old Ed is, he's kind of like, I've passed my prime for that. I already have a grown child. I will take in your child, but I can't be raising another kid. So he's been kind of thinking of the idea of getting a vasectomy, but he's currently trying to omit the truth from Rosemary because that's something that would put a dent in their relationship, because this is something major that was discussed beforehand, and if we have different views on it, then I'd prefer that you kind of go on your merry way. But he's not going to tell her. So he gets to the airport and he wants to kind of say goodbye to his daughter, just to kind of say, like, goodbye, I hope all is well, and stuff like this. She doesn't answer the phone, so he leaves her a message. The message kind of sounds a little bit, like, sad. It sounds a little bit depressing, like he's not coming back, or there's a chance he might not come back. But his daughter ends up calling him and telling him that, like, you could tell that she's not happy, but she's still like, you know, I want the best for my dad. I want him to have a safe flight and stuff like this. She can kind of push aside her pettiness for now and wish him well and hope that he has a safe flight, which I appreciate that. And he appreciated that because he seemed like he was just over the moon just to hear from her. They talked about discussing the problems with Ed's relationship when he returns. Okay, so next we have Avery and Ash. So Avery goes over to her parents' house to tell them that not only is she in a relationship with a man for 9 months, even though they broke up 3 times, so, like, is it really 9 months? So she wants to tell them that they're together and that she's planning on going to see him for 2.5 weeks. I was thinking, Avery, well then who's watching your kids? Because I made the assumption that her parents would watch the kids, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. If she's already sound like she booked flights and everything, like this is a sure thing. This doesn't seem like oh, I want to go, it seems like I'm going. So obviously her parents are kind of shocked, they're taken back. Her mom is kind of like, what do you mean you're dating? What do you mean that you're in love? What do you mean that you're talking married? What do you mean all that? Because you guys are so far away. How does this happen? You guys haven't even seen each other. obviously she's asking very, very common, decent, proper questions that anyone has. It's surprising to me that they talked about marriage because of just the amount of times they've broken up. Whether he wants to get married and she kind of was apprehensive, I felt like they broke up way too much times. And then they haven't been together long enough to be thinking about marriage. So they also bring up the fact that he has a kid, and like, what is he gonna do with his kid? Because if he's planning on coming to the States, he can't be with his kid. And she said like, oh, he's gonna speak to his ex-wife, and she's gonna be okay with it. And I don't believe all that, but you know what? It is what it is. We will see. So next we have Jeffrey and Varya. And so beforehand, 24 hours before Jeffrey comes, Varya meets up with her friends to kind of give them the tea on like everything that's happening, that Jeff is gonna come tomorrow, they're gonna meet, because she does radio in another city, so they decided to meet in Moscow. So she's telling them like, oh, he's a very nice guy, and you know, telling them all the good things, but they're very concerned and very apprehensive about the whole situation. They bring up, you don't know him, like you haven't seen him in person, and so when you guys see each other, you guys are gonna spend the night together, or you guys are gonna sleep in the same bedroom, and you don't really know him like that. I don't feel comfortable with that, because they already feel like a type of way that she's going there by herself, where they don't feel comfortable that she's going somewhere to another city alone to meet a stranger, and that they're supposed to share a room. So they kind of told her like, hey girl, like, that doesn't sound safe, why don't you just get like a separate room? You can still meet him, you can still love on him, blah blah blah, but like, why don't you get a separate room? So she decided that like, okay, fine, I'm gonna get 2 rooms, which she hasn't taken this up with Jeffrey, but like, it's also understandable. You barely know each other. For me to feel obligated to sleep in the same bed as you is a lot, even though we could be exchanging nude photos, we can be sexting and all that stuff. The physical element of it is very different than online. So Jeffrey finally goes to Moscow, and they meet. It seems like a very friendly, like, oh my god, I finally get to see you, but then it quickly becomes awkward. Like, it seems like there's a lot of like, I don't know the word for it, I can't remember, but I've been like gray space of just like no one saying anything. You have the awkward like type of thing. She's trying to I feel like she's trying to break the awkwardness, but it's hard for her to do that. Even when she was just like, let's take a picture together, and he was kind of holding her up here, and she's like, you're holding me like a father. English obviously is not her first language, so she mistake the term makeout for we're gonna go somewhere and like chill and talk. And obviously in North American culture, makeout means you're gonna kiss for an insanely long period of time. So that was awkward as well. But I feel like maybe give them like an hour or so, get them more comfortable, get him more relaxed, get her more relaxed, and they'll be fine for now. So next we have a little bit of a clip of Lisa and Usman, where Lisa's getting ready to go. It's her first time leaving North America, so I feel like all these people never do research, never do a little tiny bit of research on the culture, the weather, things to do, what should you pack. So she packs like these face nets for mosquitoes, and I'm like, girl, forget about your face. Mosquitoes love body. Mosquitoes gonna eat up your body, so don't worry about that. Um, so I feel like she brought pure stupidness. She probably favored Paul and just buys everything under the sun. And so her friends come to kind of see her off, and they have a gift for her. Well, the gift that they have for her is condoms. They give her condoms. They have the talk with her like she's a teenager, saying like, you need to engage in safe sex. She was like, nah, don't worry about it. He got tested. He's cool and stuff. I'm like, girl, when did he get tested? Is he gonna get tested the day you get there, or he got tested 2 weeks before you came? Because a lot of things can happen in between times. I obviously don't believe that, oh, I've never had sex, no condom, sex with a person before, but like, whatever. But she was just like, nah, Holmes, I'm not doing it. That girl, the black girl that was in the scene, I felt so bad for her, because I'm just like, this is not a place where you want to be. This is not a conversation you want to hear. Like, she probably just want to be like, yo, let me just hang out with my friends. Why am I here? But she gets to the airport and you see her board her plane. So that's it with Lisa and Usman. So last but not least, we have Darcy and Tom. So what happened to Darcy's face? Her lips look swollen. Like, it's like you see the growth like around this part of her lip, where that part of your lip is not supposed to be puffy and big. She's changed. I don't say she changed her face like she got surgery on her face, but she got a lot of Botox and fillers where her face is not moving like a normal face. And when they did the zoom up on her, I was like, I don't know if I brought it up in my last video, but I was kind of like, Darcy, what's going on? So Darcy needs to stop talking about Jesse. Like, Jesse's done. Jesse's another season, 2 seasons ago. Forget about Jesse. We all know about Jesse. So she's talking about the relationship she has with Tom, and that has changed because of the distance, and that she doesn't know where they stand. And it seems like she's always working on Tom's time. So Tom had texted her and said, like, I want to video chat with you. So she video chats with him, and I love how she tries to play the nonchalant role, but like you can tell she's in her feelings. And so she's wishing him well, saying like, oh my god, you're healthy, you look nice, and blah blah blah. So he's telling her, hey, I'm supposed to see a client in New Jersey, but I can go to New York for a couple days. Do you want to meet up? So then she's like, what are your intentions? Because last time she met up with her man in New York, her other man in New York, he broke up with her in person. So Darcy's like, I'm not trying to have all that ish done to me again. Do you need to break up with me? Break up with me right now. Which in my head, I was like, Darcy, are you guys even together? Talking about, if you're gonna break up with me, just break up with me right now. I don't care. So Tom's like, no, I want to talk to a person that I have feelings for, or had some kind of relationship with. I'd like to discuss everything in person. Which I'm like, unless you're talking about us getting together or us making it work, I'm not here for that stuff. I don't care about anything else you have to say. So I feel like Darcy was still on the same wavelength of just like, what kind of foolishness are you telling me? I'd just rather you just do your own thing, because you're not making me a priority. He proved her point when he was just like, yeah, I only have like 5 minutes. Like, she's just like, Tom, get off my line. Stop talking to me, because you don't really want me, because you can't make time for me. I agree wholeheartedly with that comment. Because you don't want to be second fiddle. You don't want to be a low priority in someone's life. So I was like, Darcy, unfortunately, I know you're not going to stick to your guns, but I appreciate that you did this time. So with that being said, that's the end of my video for Before 90 Days, or 9 Days Fiance, Season 4, episode 2. So this is part 2 of episode 2. Hopefully TLC stops putting out early releases because it's only half of the content. You get half of the context of like an issue or a situation, and just keep putting them out episode by episode. So with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. I'm just a dumb cunt, fucking sick and tired of it. Maybe I could front love, maybe I could buy a zip, maybe I get fucked up. Next time I could save some. Why it's gotta be like this? Why it's gotta be that way? Put it inside. Feel so rise up, banging on that loud.